Hello students of class 9, hope you all are keeping well. I am Nandita in front of you to discuss a very common topics in mathematics, basic mathematical physics. Actually, physics is the subject which needs mathematical support, and for this purpose I am here to discuss first on variation and proportion. Okay. Exactly, you studied about the proportions certainly in your mathematics, but how do we say the variation and proportion, and we will discuss here. Okay, first of all, let us take some examples. Like, it's very clear that cost of your NCERT science book, it increases for the increase of number of books. It's very simple. I am repeating once. The cost of number of NCERT science books increases with the increase of number of books. So how do we explain the mathematically? Like, number of books n and cost c. Okay. So what is the relation here? If the number of books increases, then cost price of those books also increases. Now here, how do we write this in the language of mathematics? Here, C is proportional to N. Or, how do we speak? C varies as N. How do we speak? C varies as N. Means if n increases, the cost also increases. We say also C is proportional to n. C is proportional to n. And let us take another example. It is very common in your mathematics, that is a definite amount of work, like plowing a field. To finish that work, if we engage more the number of laborers, the day to finish the work reduces. It's very common. And vice versa. If the number of laborers are reduced, then day to finish a particular work increases. So in this case, how do you explain that? Let us check this. Number of labor as n and day to finish a work as t. Okay? Number of laborers as n and day to finish a specific work is t. Then how are they related? Check this. If the number of laborers increase, then day to finish the work decreases. So how do we explain them? Here is the number of laborers is inversely proportional to day. Check D. This means if D is increased, then N decreases. Okay? Otherwise versa. If D decreases, then N increases. Okay? We are very basic this type of symbols and this type of relationship we meet in the subject physics. Like examples of this, Ohm's law. The current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to its potential difference across it. Check. This type of relationship in Boyle's law. Pressure of an enclosed glass is inversely proportional to its volume. Means if pressure increases, then volume decreases. Okay, so these are the examples in physics which are met in the proper topics. Now let us work. So we see two kinds. This is called direct. This is called direct variation, and this is called indirect variation. Okay. This is called indirect variation or inversely proportional. We also speak this. Now we shall try to work on this. So here, in this case, how can we write this statement further? C equals K into N. Check this. What is K? K proportional constant. So you check this statement very particular. So how do you write first mathematically? C is proportional to N. What is the next step? Therefore, C equals a proportional constant here used as K into N. Okay? What does it mean? It means C by N equals K. Means in our earlier examples, the cost price of books divided by the number of books will be always constant. It's very simple. You try to think about that. You don't make it complicated. You try to think in a very easy way. Cost of 100 books divided by 100. Cost of 50 books divided by 50. Cost of 20 NCERT science book divided by 20. Cost of 30 NCERT science books divided by 30. The value will be constant. It will be the cost per unit. I mean cost of each science book. So it is the meaning of that. Similarly, here how do we explain this statement? So therefore, N equals a constant into 1 by N. What is K? Same. A proportional constant. So what we learn here? A proportional symbol is there. How do you remove the proportional symbol with equal to sign? A constant to multiply in the right side. Normally we multiply the constant in the right side. Then in this case it is what is the constant? In this example, cost per science book. But in some chapter science, physics, the proportional constant is not only arbitrary constant, that it can be very specific. Like in this case, V is proportional to Y current. When I said the examples, then the proportional constant to be said to be the resistance of the conductor. You have a physical quantity, not any mathematical constant. Okay. Then come back to this part. So it is N equal to this. What does it mean? Therefore, N into D equals a constant. Check the difference between these two expressions. Here C by N is constant, the ratio. So in case of direct proportion, directly proportional, when you speak directly proportional, the ratio of the terms will be constant. And in case of indirect variation, indirectly varies when N varies indirectly with D, then what does it mean? The multiplication of the variable terms, varying terms will be constant. Like N into D equals constant. I mean here in this example, number of labors multiplied by day to finish the particular work will be constant. Number of, I am repeating once, number of labors multiplied by day to finish the specific work, it will be always constant. You can check this in your mathematical examples. I hope you have solved such type of problems. Okay, so I am generalizing this. Now I am generalizing this. Let x is directly proportional to y. Therefore, x equals a proportional constant into y. C a proportional constant. Therefore, x by y equals a constant. That is x1 by y1, x2 by y2, x3 by y3, so on. What is the suffix 1, 2, 3, etc.? Means the first set of values of x and y, second set of values of x, so that ratio of x to y will always be a constant value. Okay. Then how can we say for the indirect variation? I say let x varies inversely with y, therefore x equals a constant into 1 by y. You understand? C is a proportional constant. Therefore, x into y equals a constant. What do you mean by this? Therefore, x1, y1 equals x2, y2, x3, y3 and so on. Okay, this is very simple. So the product of the variables bears a constant value in the case of beta. Now, sometimes we see not only the one variable depends on another. Sometimes we have so many examples. So why do we see that more than two variables are found? Okay, let us check this. Amount of what? Let it W. Number of levers N. Day to finish the work is D. So here three variables are there. They are interrelated. Like check this. As is seen earlier, check this. As is seen earlier, suppose the question is, final question is to answer in how many days the particular work to be finished. In how many days the particular work to be finished. Okay? Then how do we proceed? We keep the unknown in the left side, like D. So D is proportional to, now relate D with either first N or with W. If you with N, then keep the W constant. Like how the number of days to finish your work is related with N. So day, if W is constant, if more the labor, less the number of days. So as is seen earlier, 1 by N. Now the question is here, is a very important statement is here, when W is constant. Check the statement very carefully. So the number of days to finish your work is inversely proportional to the number of labors. To finish a work, that means when W is constant. Check this. So I have related D with N. In the same way, relate D with W, keeping N constant. So first, here D proportional to, we must write in this side W, but keep thinking when N is constant. How can we explain this? Let us think. So what? Number of days. Suppose the question is to plow 1 acre of land, in 10 days. To plow 1 acre of land, 1 acre of land in 10 days. Sorry, this is in number of labors. 1 acre of land to be plowed by 30 people, 30 labors. So the labors will be kept constant. 30 labors. 30 labors to be kept constant. You don't change this. Now, how day is related with 1? So the question is, if more the amount of work, then more the day will be needed. It's not that. 30 labors are fixed to plow 1 acre of land in 10 days, then to plow 2 acres of land, 20 days will be needed. So day is directly proportional to the 1. I am repeating again. Number of days to finish your work is inversely proportional to the number of labors when amount of work is constant. Number of days to finish the work is proportional to the amount of work, more the work, more day when the number of labor is constant. Okay? Now, you combine these two. The combination process is same. The first is multiply the right side. Check how do I do. D is proportional to W by N. So again the proportional sign, division sign, and multiply the right side. But the question is, here the important matter is, if W and N both vary. When W and N both vary. Okay. W and N both vary. Check this. D varies proportionally to W by N when W and N both vary. Okay? And then, as earlier, therefore, D equals a proportional constant into W by N. That means, therefore, D into N by W equals a constant. You check this, just to take one examples. You check this, you just write one question. Let 30 couples working for 10 days can plow 2 acres of land. I am repeating, 30 couples working for 10 days can plow 2 acres of land. Now the question is, let W is unknown to make the W is what? How can you make the question? In how many days? How can you make the questions to find the W? So 30 laborers working at the same rate for 15 days. How many acres of land can plow? Okay? You will try to solve the questions and then I will discuss your queries. You will ask me the questions and I will do this as per your problems. Okay?